All right, so we just going live. I'm gonna do a roll call. Anybody that's checking in, and then so go ahead and give me the thumbs up or I see I got a couple pounds. Burns Elite Performance, love it, man. Actually, this is gonna be a good topic too. Um, for any athlete trainers out there, also any parents of young athletes, man, it's gonna be a good one for you. Let me see here. Let me move that over. Yeah, there we go. That should help us out a little bit. All right, perfect. So once again, man, this is Mike Waters, Phase One Sports. This is our Wednesday night conversation. So today I'm going to change it up just a little bit, and today we're going to talk about developing an elite level athlete. So where this came from, very simple. So a lot of the athletes that we have really created or went on to create a very high level of success. I mean, right now we have, I don't know, 10 or 12 NFL players, NBA, Major League Soccer, pretty much all the major sports. And then, of course, we have a lot of elite level high school athletes as well that are, multiple scholarship offers. We have some young guys that are going to be the next up. They'll be the 20, 30 offer type athletes. And then we have probably, I don't know, 20 maybe, probably 20, 25 D1 athletes that are already currently competing at the Division I level. And so the reason I mention that, the reason I bring that up is because a lot of people have asked over the last couple of weeks, man, you guys have these different athletes, how are you producing these type of athletes? And so today I just want to talk about it in a little bit more detail, and what it takes to develop, elite level athletes. So if I can go ahead and get started, man, today will be about maybe a 15 or so, 20-minute conversation that I just want to have. So anybody that has any questions on athlete performance, questions on training, questions on how we operate here at Phase One Sports, today's episode is going to be for you to answer those questions. All my young trainers out there, all my gym owners out there, all my trainers that started where I started, which was in the parks, with cones and just getting it in, man, and developing athletes and doing something that you're passionate about, something that you love. This is for you. I want to be able to share my experience and my knowledge and my 17 years of doing what we do here at Phase One. So with that, I'm going to get right into it. So chime in if you guys got any questions, throw it out there. Man, you know the rules. Open book, open conversation. So number one, developing an elite level athlete. So here's just my thoughts. This is my opinion, my experience. Excuse me. So number one, I think in our industry, I'll start with our younger athletes first. With our younger athletes, we have athletes as young as 6, 7, 8 years old, all the way up. So with our younger athletes, when you're dealing with a younger athlete or training or developing a younger athlete, there's a couple key things that you want to look for. Number one, you want to look for the young athlete that really wants to be there. Not has to be there, not the athlete that parent is overzealous and parent is like die hard. My kid's gonna train, my kid's gonna do that, and that's cool. That's a whole nother topic. But what I'm talking about is making sure a young athlete has the mindset to be an elite level athlete. That's a certain mindset. That's not just coincidence. Let me adjust this camera real quick. So that's not just coincidence. In my opinion, even with the young athletes, 10, 9, 10, 11 years old, those athletes come in and you see it early. You see it because they show up every day. They're excited about getting better. They're excited about training. When the training session gets a little tough and they get a little bit, they're exhausted. They're fatigued. They don't quit. They keep working. That same young athlete also wants the approval of the trainer. They want the trainer to be able to, feel good about it. They're the one, asking the trainer after, how did I do today? They're the ones that come up to the trainer when the trainer's done. It's like, compared to last week, I feel like I'm getting faster, or, do my arms look better? It's something about that young athlete's energy and that young athlete's mindset that you can see it early. They want to be better. They want to be great. They're not just in here because mom said, dad said. They're not just in here for that. They are in here with a strong desire to be a high-level elite athlete. It's literally what they have. It's built in. You'll see that early. Now, I'm not saying that if an athlete doesn't have that, they can't develop it. But what I am saying is that's the first thing that I look for. That's what I look for. So now let's flip the trainer side. What is a trainer's goal when they see that in an athlete? Simple. Develop it. Feed into it. That's the same athlete that you can push them a little bit more. That's the same athlete that is that you can say, hey, man, that wasn't 100%. I need more on that one. That's the athlete that's going to say, yes, sir, I got you. I'm on it. That's that athlete. So if you have that and you see that in an athlete, make sure you're cultivating and you're developing that and you're pushing that. That athlete might require a little bit more attention, not in a negative way, but a positive way, because that athlete is typically going to end up being more advanced than the other athletes at their age group. That's where you get the 10, 11-year-old, and right now they could train with a 15-year-old right now because they just have a different mindset. So you might have to give them that extra push, that extra, time, that extra energy to help develop them. So that way you continue to maximize that passion. So that's number one, when you in recognizing an elite level athlete, and then of course developing that athlete. Now let's go to the next chapter. So that was a great example for, like, I would say 6th through 8th grader. They show up, they're focused, they really want to be there. Everybody has a bad day, but for the most part, they're there 100% because they want to be there, not because dad wants them to be there. They want to start on their baseball team, basketball team, football team. They want to start. They want to be better. Not parent is saying, oh, I just want my kid to be great, or I think my kid is the next whoever. It's not about that at this stage. I want to see what the kid wants. How hard is the young athlete willing to work? So that's the first phase. Phase two. Got that? Phase 2 sports. So phase 2 is, let's talk about our high school athletes. For me, this is that 8th grade summer, 8th grade going into high school. This is the time for me. This is when I get excited. Oh, I just got real excited because I just kicked my little thing. But this is where I get excited. Here's why. Because to me, this is the age that an athlete should have it figured out. When I say figured out, it doesn't mean they're already elite. It doesn't mean they can go to the gym and train themselves. That's not what I'm talking about. What I mean by figured it out, there should be no question that by the time you enter 9th grade, that you are 100% committed to being an athlete, period. If you're not committed by that stage, if your athlete is not committed by that stage, then it's going to make it very tough. So for me, when I have our young athletes, when they get into that 8th, 9th grade, our conversation changes. The intensity changes. The way we push them, the way we work mental, it all changes, because now you're on the clock. Now you are in the bucket with the other 5 million athletes throughout the country that you're going to be competing against. That if your goal is to get a scholarship, which most of our athletes, that's their goal. So now you're competing with all those athletes. You're in the bucket now. There's no hiding. There's no mistake. You're in the fire. So if you're going into that 9th grade year as a young athlete and you do not have that figured out yet, I don't know what to tell you. Does it mean that I'm giving up on you? No. Does it mean that we're not going to provide all the resources and tools that you need? No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, when we talk about elite level athletes, and remember, I haven't even said they became elite yet. I'm just saying developing them, turning them into elite. Because I can tell you, and a lot of our athletes will tell you personally, that when they walked in that door, all of them were not elite level athletes, period. Some of them were average at best. Some of them weren't even average. But some of them had the ability to work and learn and train and be committed and be focused and be disciplined. And now they're elite level athletes. Now they compete at the highest level. Now. So, high school. So parents, before your athlete gets to 9th grade, they should have it. Here are some examples to know if they have it. In 9th grade, 8th grade summer, 9th grade summer, if you're still reminding or telling your athlete that, hey, we got training today at 6 o'clock, and they're like, oh, okay, we already behind. That athlete should already be having their day planned when they wake up, knowing that tonight I have training at phase 1 or whatever facility, or we got practice at this time. They should already be accountable for their schedule and their mission. They should be accountable. They should be telling you, hey, mom, let's go. I don't want to be late. It's already 5:30. I got to be there. Like, we got to go. Like, that should be their mindset. When they walk into the gym, you should notice right away when they walk in, if that training session starts at 6 p.m., that athlete that's focused, that potential elite level athlete that's focused, they're going to walk into the gym. They're literally going to walk into that building at 5:40, 5:45. Session starts at 6. They're going to say what's up to everybody. They might say what up to the trainer. They're going to do whatever they're going to do. Boom. And then they're going to transition. About 10 till, they're going to be in the corner, foam roll, stretch, earphones, whatever it is, because they're already transitioning to how am I going to get better today? That's the transition. They have to be in that mindset. Like I said, if they don't have it, can we cultivate it? Can we teach it? Can we develop it? Yes. But what I'm telling you is this is what I like to see early. I want to see it in 9th grade. Someone just chimed in, self-motivated. That's it. I want to see that you're self-motivated. That way I can keep pouring. My trainers, my staff, the coaches, everybody can keep pouring in because they're self-motivated, which means they're going to receive that. They're going to want to get better. So they got to have that self-motivation. So that's the second phase. When you see that now and you see it at 9th grade, 10th grade level, now you get excited. This is when I look at an athlete. This is where I start pulling athletes aside. Come here real quick. Let me talk to you. Hey, man, I like what you're doing. I see you working. I see you getting better. Once I see that, once I recognize that, now as a trainer, as a parent, as a coach, now I want to pour even more into that athlete. Now I want to give them the extra. That's the one that when I see they're struggling with something, hey, pull them aside after class. Hey, come here, man, let's do a couple more. I want to work on this. I want to work on that. And that athlete is going to not only appreciate it, they're going to take every single word that you say and they're going to apply it because they have a desire to get better. And if they apply that, now it's going to make you want to feed into it more and more because you see, man, everything I teach this kid, they run with it. They see it. And once you get that, now you're in the making of an elite level athlete. Now you potentially can look up and be like, in the next 2 years, this kid is going to get multiple scholarship offers. This kid is going to transition to the Division I level. This kid could potentially even play at the professional level because you can see it. Now, yeah, we can go into all the other stuff, how tall they are, the height, the weight, all that stuff. And all that is a factor. Genetics are genetics. Don't get me wrong. But what this conversation is about is developing that athlete, recognizing that athlete, and then pouring in all the resources to that athlete. Now, let's go to phase 3. Let's call it phase 3. Phase 1 was the youth, the young kids that you recognize it, you see it. They got the desire. They got the ambition. They're showing up. It's not about the parent saying, I'm going to sign you up at phase 1 because you need to work on this. No, it's the opposite. It's the kid saying, Dad, Mom, look at this place, phase 1 that I just saw on Instagram. I need to go here. They're right down the street. They're on Blue Diamond. I need to be here. Why? Because I need to get better. That's the mindset. When you have that in 6th grade, sky's the limit. You have that in 7th grade, sky's the limit. Phase 2, high school athletes. They show up. Their mind's in the right place. They're not just playing around the whole workout. You don't have to remind them in the middle of a training session, hey, quit talking in the back. We're over here. I want you to listen. You shouldn't have to do that. Not with the elite. With the average, maybe. But the elite athletes, you should not have to, in the middle of a 1-hour training session, tell them to be quiet twice. Why? That means they're not focused on why they're there. So as a trainer, as a coach, they should have that discipline, that focus. Yeah, every once in a while, you might have to reel them in. That's normal. Every once in a while. But if it's a consistent thing, then that kid, that athlete is just not there. They're just not ready. It's just not there. They need some more time. So let's go to the next part. And I'm going to break phase 3 apart into 2 years. Your junior and your senior season. Your junior and senior year. Now, we talked about freshman, sophomore year, which is good development years. That's where you start seeing that discipline. They're showing up, they're focused, they're ready. But by their junior year, as a trainer, as a coach, now you can just fine-tune the little things. Now you can focus on just getting a little bit faster, getting that strength up, perfecting that power clean form. Because by junior year, this athlete should be so dialed in that they should come in and ask the trainer, hey, what do we got today? And when the trainer says, hey, we starting with this, that athlete is going over there to set it up. That athlete is going over there to set it all up, get the rack ready, get the weights ready, get the warm-up started. Hey, what correct is? What do you want us to do today? I want you to do the band. Cool, I got it. They're going to grab 5 bands for all 5 athletes. That's a leader. That's the leadership. That's the next quality that we're looking for. Yep, shout out to Mark Philippi, PSI. Appreciate you tuning in. Hey, so that's the next level. So now once we go from the desire to phase 3, which is that junior, senior year, now we start seeing the leadership. Now we see the discipline. Now we see that athlete bringing their protein shake to the gym right when they get done. They're drinking their protein. When they get done with the training, they're stretching on the side. You know, they're still working on technique. Now you look back. Now you sit back and you go, that kid right there is special. Look at that. That kid walks in, they're dialed in, they're focused, they're showing leadership. That's the kid that on the last sprint or the last, whatever sled push and other athletes are dying, other athletes could barely finish. That's the one that's cheering them on. Hey, come on, let's go. You can finish it. That's the one that kid has one more and they say, I'm going to do it with you. That's that kid. That's the one. That becomes the 1% athlete in the group. That's the 1%. That's the one that as a trainer, as a coach, that's the one you pour everything you got into because they have something. And when I say pour everything into, I'm not talking about in hopes that they go to the NFL or to the NBA so you could be rewarded later. It's not that. But as a trainer, as a coach, that's the one you want to pour into because that's the one that is going to receive it and value it and appreciate it. And even if they never play one college down, they're going to come back to you when they're 25 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old. They're going to shake your hand. They're going to say, thank you. Because that athlete, you've not only taught them how to be an elite level athlete, but you've taught them how to be an elite person. You've taught them the discipline, the leadership, the character, everything that's going to carry for them to be great throughout the rest of their life. That's what you just get poured into that young person. So phase 3 is very important, and that's the leadership role. That is the leadership role. And now the last piece that we'll talk about, and we'll just be a couple more minutes, and I'm going to let everybody get back to whatever they were doing before they tuned in. And we'll do a little Q&A if you guys got any questions, so you can start throwing those out right now. But the last phase, that's that senior year, high school, the grade go off to college, and now the word changes. Now what we're looking at is we're looking at professionalism. That's what I call it. Professionalism. Now it's your senior year. You finished maybe even your senior year sport. So now it's just 6 months until you go off to college, 3 months until you go off to college. Now, can you be a pro? Can you have a professional mindset? Can you not only show up early, but can you show up on your off day, walk in the gym, and everybody goes, "Why are you here? You're off today." "Oh no, I just wanted to do a little warm up and a little bit of stretch." Or, "You know what? I want to jump on the Normatec boots. I want to jump in the cryotherapy chamber. You know what I mean? Hey, I want to get a massage, get a little fascia stretch." And you're like, "Man, on your off day, love it." That's the one. That's professionalism. That's the athlete that's going to go off to college. That's the athlete that's going to compete day in, day out in college. And that's the one that when nobody's there to knock on the door and say, "Hey, you got to get up for class," that's the one that's going to get up early and going to be at class, paying attention, listening, doing their homework. That's the athlete that is going to be at practice early. That's the athlete that's going to read the playbook, study the playbook, know the playbook. And at the end of the day, that is going to be your elite level athlete. Period. We can go into 1,000 more details, 1,000 more, different characteristics. But I'm telling you, if you just simplify it and you keep your eyes open, that's what you're looking for. For the babies, the youth, the young athletes, you're looking for that kid, that young athlete that's motivated, that comes in, that wants to be there. The one that if their parents said, "Hey, man, I don't know if we can keep going to phase one. We might have to change." That's the one that's in tears. I got to go to phase one. I got to get better. I got to keep training. I got to go see my trainer. That's that one. Not the opposite. Not the parent that's saying, "Hey, man, we got to do this." "Well, Dad, I don't want to train today. I don't want to go to phase one. I don't want to work out. I don't want to go to the." Not saying it won't change, but I'm just saying characteristics and what we're looking for. Phase two, freshman, sophomore, discipline, coming in early, focus, being able to focus for an hour 30, however long that training session is, being able to focus 100%. Effort, giving away 100% effort every single rep of every single drill of the entire session. That's what we're looking for. That's phase two. Phase three, that's that junior, senior year. Now you got to be a leader, baby. You got to be a leader. You got to walk in. You got to set it up. You got to break it down. You got to rack weights. You got to lead. You got to be a trainer. You got to be in the session going, at the end of the day, I'm going to make sure these people finish. I got you. "Hey, coach, what we got today?" Boom, I got it. I'm going to go start the warm-up right now. We ready. It's 6 o'clock. I'm going to start the workout. Leadership. Junior, senior year has to be there. Senior year going into college. Professionalism. Taking care of your body. Taking care of your nutrition. Taking care of your academics, your schoolwork, being disciplined. Because guess what? Mom and dad aren't there. When you go off to college, you're on your own. Nobody's knocking on the door. Nobody's giving you a ride. You got to figure it out yourself. So that's professionalism. And that's the last piece to being an elite or recognizing or developing an elite level athlete. So with that, man, I'm going to get into some Q&A. So hopefully y'all got a couple questions. I see a couple popping up. I'll try to get to those here. Let's go. Michelle says hello. Hello, Michelle. All right. So here's one from Douglas Monroe. "What programs do you guys offer for boxers?" Basically, we have right now Andrew Tabiti, Devin Haney. We've had UFC from Misha Tate. We've had a lot of different boxing programs. So we only focus on performance. So even as a boxer, if you're coming to us, you're coming for strength conditioning, explosive power, core. You're coming for that, not for the boxing side. We don't do any technical boxing training here. We do all the performance stuff. So just if you're still tuned in, you can check in with us on that if you're looking for the performance side. We have a lot of TMT guys in here, boxers from all different camps. So we focus on performance. Let's go. So here's a question from Jessica Renee. So which school schedules and sports so uncertain this fall with current COVID-19. What is your advice for middle school athletes? 1 year left until. Okay, perfect. Great question. So basically, she wants to know, with the uncertainty and the COVID-19 and the quarantine and all this stuff going on, what would a school schedule, or basically what would be my advice for middle school athletes? So here's my thing. As a parent of a middle school athlete or athlete in general that's dealing with the COVID-19, the quarantine, the uncertainty with time, uncertainty with school schedule, even with fall sports, summer sports. I mean, everything's just in a weird spot. Here's what I would do. Number one thing, I would make sure that you have a schedule. I would keep my young athlete on a consistent schedule, whether that's from waking up in the morning, their nutrition, what they're eating, all the way down to, their training routine. And granted, right now, like phase 1 is closed, so we're not doing the training. But at the end of the day, it could be a situation where if you have a trainer that's willing to meet you at the park, get some training in at the park or on an outdoor court or somewhere that you can get that activity in. That would be my advice, is to keep somewhat of a normal schedule, while this athlete is in quarantine and there's no structured scheduled practices and things like that. I would also limit the time that they spend on social media, that they spend on, Xbox and playing their games. Try to create as much of a normal schedule as possible. And if you don't have access to a trainer, you could even do it. It's nothing, nothing easier than saying, hey, we're about to go work out, or we're about to be in the living room. We're going to do some push-ups, some sit-ups, some air squats. Just try to keep something structured and active. That way they're still going to keep that mindset, and now you won't have to completely reprogram your athletes when the quarantine is over. So that would be my advice. And I would just, communicate with the coaches, the trainers, anybody that was already in your athlete circle, just for any tips, any advice. We post, I know I did a jump rope routine on my Instagram page. I think we did a hill workout on there. I know we posted a couple programs. So I would try to reach out and, try to get some of those stuff going just to keep it rolling. So message from Douglas. I'll be in contact with you guys. Cool. Hey, appreciate it, Douglas, man. First of all, thanks for tuning in. But definitely we'll be back open at the earliest June 1st. At the latest, we're thinking June 15th. We're still going by the governor's mandate. So, of course, we're dealing with that. We're trying to see if the governor is going to open up for private gyms our size to be able to open up on June 1st. That's what we're really hoping for. But worst case, we're thinking June 15th, unless something dramatic happens with the spread of COVID-19, with the phase 1 people that are getting back to work right now. So God willing, everything stays smooth, our numbers stay controlled, and they allow us as a smaller gym to open June 1. But we're going to follow that mandate for sure, just to make sure we don't get in trouble. We've been around 17 years and we try to go another 17. So we're making sure. But thanks on that one. Let's go back here. Boom. Let me see. What are the latest developments? Looks like Michelle Taylor. What are the latest developments on when training can resume? Corbin, can't wait to get back with you guys. So there we go. I just kind of answered that. So great question. Hopefully, fingers crossed, June 1st, but we're thinking June 15th. And like I said, of course, we're all about safety. So we've already fully quarantined our facility. I mean, we've disinfected, cleaned, sanitized to an extreme level. I mean, we've even taken out different pieces of equipment and replaced it. I mean, what we've done at phase 1 is utilize this time to get better. It's not the ideal scenario, obviously revenue and things like that from a business side. But instead of just tanking or just sitting on our hands, we actually started our cleaning, our new protocols. From fever testers to pulse readers. I mean, we've done it all, so we're ready. We're just waiting on the governor's green light. So awesome on that one, but great question. Jessica, thanks for chiming back in. I'm glad you appreciated that information. I definitely think, those tips will be good structure for you and your young athlete right now. are you guys in the Summerlin gym? So we still have both locations, of course, and both are working pretty much on the same timeline. So our Summerlin location, which is on inside the Las Vegas Sports Park, that one as well as our South location will both be open at the same time, which, like I said, June 1st, possibly June 15th. So keep checking in, guys, and we'll make sure we post that stuff, and we'll do it. Yep, cool. Yep, no worries, Michelle. Anytime. So definitely looking forward to getting you guys back in. So with that said, man, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. We're right at the 30-minute mark. Once again, this is Wednesday Conversation. We're going to save this on every platform. So you'll see it on Facebook. You'll see it on our YouTube page. You'll see it on Instagram for 24 hours. And then also we'll probably spin this into our Winner's Mindset podcast. So if you guys have not followed yet, go to your Apple iTunes, your Apple Store or podcast or whatever it's called. Go in there and find the Winner's Mindset with Mike Waters and subscribe to that podcast. A lot of good information. We're building out a nice list of special guests. I'm going to have some of my NFL guys on here real soon. Reggie Hops is going to jump on real soon. We're going to get Paul, who runs our Phase 1 Hawaii, on real soon. We're coming. So we got a lot of good stuff, man. So thanks for tuning in, man. Appreciate all you guys. Thanks for the questions. Looking forward to connecting with everybody soon. But in the meantime, share this with somebody that needs to hear it. Any parents, coaches, trainers, tag them, share it, get it to them so they can check it out, man. And we all just going to keep getting better and keep working. Thanks for tuning in, man. I'll see you guys on the next one.